I've taken off my person suit," Hannibal Lecter flatly informs his former psychiatrist in the third season premiere of his namesake show, airing tonight. What Bedelia du Maurier currently is to Hannibal, hostage, accomplice, voice of reason, is no longer clear, either to viewers or to Bedelia herself. What's obvious is the transformation Bryan Fuller's fever dream has undergone between installments, mirroring that of Hannibal himself. Lecter no longer wears his person suit, and Hannibal no longer wears the guise of a crime procedural based in Baltimore. Last season's cliffhanger saw Hannibal and his surprise companion emerge as virtually the only characters unscathed by the massacre at Lecter's sprawling manse. With Will, Jack, Alana, and Abigail still bleeding out on the floor, Hannibal leaves their fates to viewers' imagination and follows Lecter and du Maurier to Europe, devoting an entire episode to their new life while everyone else remains off-screen. The change in both scenery and central players. Once a vaunted guest star, Gillian Anderson is now officially a series regular, remains in effect throughout the first 3 episodes, abandoning Maryland for Italy and therapy sessions with Will for dinner parties co-hosted with Bedelia. Given its fondness for Baroque visuals, elaborate meals, and discussions of religion, or at least the devil, Hannibal unsurprisingly feels far more at home in Florence than it ever did in Charm City. In fact, it's revealed early on that Dr. Lecter's already spent a significant amount of time there, even before returning with his wife, Bedelia. And wherever Hannibal goes, albeit with an 8-month head start, Will Graham inevitably follows. Even when the two men share precisely no screen time, Hannibal thus remains the story of Hannibal and Will's tortured relationship, always the heart of the series, but with the case of the weak structure and many secondary characters cast aside, now more explicitly than ever. As Will's quest to find and know Hannibal takes him on a solo mission, however, Bedelia takes on a new prominence. In his former patient's absence, Hannibal is now most himself around her, arguably even more so than he was in Will's therapy sessions, filled as they were with circuitous double talk. Season 3 is the first time we see Hannibal almost entirely unmasked, discussing his murderous appetites openly. "Everyone has their flavor," he says in one scene. "I've killed hardly anybody during our stay here." In another, "and even killing for an audience." Bedelia is left somewhere between bystander and accessory, replacing Will in yet another sense, as Hannibal's self-perceived equal, one he attempts to remake in his image.